Hello and welcome to another Wrestling Tea Tarot, the channel where we look beyond the kayfabe, behind the booking, try to find some truth in the world of professional wrestling. I am Jude, my co-host. With me is Calypso Vibes, and our special guest, mascot hound, Nala, also present. Today we are going to be taking a look at a wrestler who is not a wrestler, possibly one of the biggest stars on the planet currently, Bad Bunny. I was going to say what a tremendous year Bad Bunny had last year, but he's been on a streak for several years, winning major accolades in the music industry. I believe he was the top listened to artist on Spotify for 2022. And his really surprisingly good in-ring work with WWE. Before we had Logan Paul, who shocked us as a non-wrestler, Bad Bunny did the same, and Bad Bunny's not an athlete like Logan Paul is. But we're going to talk about Bad Bunny today because we know he has been involved in the Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day storyline since WrestleMania 2 weekends ago, and it looks like he is going to be performing at Backlash in his home island of Puerto Rico at the beginning of May, where he will be teaming up with Rey to take on Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest, which is also an interesting twist because he and Damian Priest were tag partners during Bunny's first proper match in the WWE when he and Damian Priest took on The Miz and John Morrison. So, what we're going to take a look at here is just where's Bunny at, how's he feeling about, his life in general, where things are going for him in the WWE, what he thinks about the locker room and the sale, and just what's the overall temperature of Bunny's situation right now.
So I'm looking at my seat. Sorry.
We've got 4 decks that we're going to be taking a look at, as we do with most of our readings. And do remember, like all of our readings, this is for entertainment purposes only. We don't have any special knowledge of what's going on in the WWE or what's going on with Bad Bunny. We just enjoy the content and like trying to take a peek behind the scenes to interpret what we can from the oracle cards.
Booker T. 8.
Alright, we've already had, looks like about half a dozen, 5 or 6 that have fallen so far. Let's see if we get anything else that jumps out before we move on. One more, and we'll take a look at what we've got. Okay.
And she decided to be extremely affectionate.
Okay, well, the first thing that came up was the Deception and Temptation card. I don't know what deception might be going on. Temptation, I mean, Bunny is fulfilling really kind of a childhood dream with his participation in the WWE. He's talked about how it's he's loved it since he was a kid, how his match with Miz and Morrison, his first real match in the WWE, is a highlight of his life. And maybe he was tempted to come back. Maybe there's something more sinister here. It's just our first card. I don't want to read too much into it. North Node, Cosmic and Purpose. I don't know. I mean, Bunny, he definitely gives some pretty strong alien vibes, but I think he's meant to be an entertainer. it's absolutely his purpose to be on the stage, to to be playing to the crowds, and he's absolutely fulfilling that. Remember and awakening, and we've got the sort of reaching for the sun there. So again, we know that this is a almost a childhood dream for Bunny. So we talk about the remembrance, the looking backward, but his awakening, I mean, he has had a monstrous glow up. What that has meant to him spiritually, emotionally, whether he is in touch with his spiritual side or with the arts in any way.
At that degree,
at that degree, it's likely, but again, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes.
whether
But you put
it's
this
a
awakening,
Bruja or Auntie Bruja or somebody.
you put this awakening with this cosmic purpose. I think it's likely. Chemistry and passion. Again, he's very passionate about his work. That absolutely comes through in his charisma with the audience, large or small. Fulfillment and wish. Well, I think I've already said that. Childhood dreams fulfilled. Change and courage. Is this the change as he has, as his fame has been growing over these years, or are we talking about something that's yet to come? But you see here the person walking on the railroad tracks with the bags, definitely headed to a new destination. Cycles, completion, and change yet again. But also look at this imagery. It's almost like the Silence of the Lambs logo, right? With the butterfly over the mouth. Makes you wonder, like, what is being hidden here? What is it about this change? Obviously, the butterfly symbolizes the metamorphosis and change, but to have it positioned over the mouth, and over here, the deception card where the mouth of this man in the water is hidden. There's some secret things being obscured. Of course, occult is another word for secret, allegedly for entertainment purposes. But the activation of the higher self is usually the key to success and transformation like that. And we see the higher self activation card just there. And finally, the masculine card. Without reading too much into that, this is a sport, where you've got a very alpha male in charge in Vince McMahon and Triple H. We're going to have 4 men in the ring, even where you've got the father and son on opposite sides, which is, of course, a rite of passage or a ritual of manhood. Obviously, this is kayfabe, this is theater, but it's also the opportunity for, Rey Mysterio, the father, to put his son Dominic over, and Bunny is going to be playing a part in that. Calypso, do you want to add anything to these cards while I'm shuffling up the situation deck?
Masculine energy is involved.
Of course.
I could be anybody. I think this is a wish fulfillment. Higher self activation, lot of alien energy.
Mm-hmm. Like, alien and occult, right?
Alien and occult and spiritual, just like all in that, arena. So yeah, buddy. Cycles. What does that say? Change, completion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So change and change.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have these obscured mouths, right?
Which is interesting.
Right, secrets being kept.
I tell you, for me, imagery says a lot when you can't put the the words together, right? But the imagery, a lot of don't speak.
Right, and these auras. You see, we've got this nimbus here, the aura around here and here. These sort of energy fields.
He's a lot of, he's definitely a chosen kid, right?
You don't, I mean, he's 29, I think I read.
I'm not saying that Bad Bunny wasn't born to be a star, because it's in his energy. That he's definitely born for entertainment, but, the rocket, the kind of entertainment rocket that's been strapped to him is on the level of Taylor Swift.
Right, how does it happen?
Right. Like where
allegedly for entertainment purposes.
Where he's pushed down your throat because he's everywhere. Like Bad Bunny is literally saturated to me at this point. He's in wrestling. He's in The Simpsons. I mean, that dude is everywhere.
The guy who said that he wasn't going to speak English at all.
Is
then you turn around,
which is deception.
And he's in a movie with Brad Pitt. Last year. And, with James Corden doing the karaoke.
I think that's what the deception is. I think we don't see the real face of Bad Bunny.
That he's got a little bit more Anglo lifestyle than he lets on, while he's being extremely pro Puerto Rico, which is great. I mean, rep your culture, rock your culture. And I thought
he literally said, "Oh, I would never speak. Never. I would always." He said, "I would never plan to learn English." I think he was lying about that. I think he was already learning.
But he speaks fluent English.
So that's a lie. You already knew it. That's why I'm saying that the hiding of the faces,
allegedly for entertainment purposes.
We're not seeing the real Bunny. That's what these pictures imply to me.
All right. Well, we've had quite a few drop from this deck. Let's pick these up and take a pass through them.
Again, all entertainers lie, by the way. Like, they're an entertainment. They're there to entertain you. They're not there to tell you the truth. Sorry. That's the reality.
Right. Spoiler alert, his birth name is not Bad Bunny.
Right? Benito.
Benito Ocasio was not born with the name Bad Bunny. Temptation again.
A lot of forbidden
risk
fruit.
and reward and a gamble. He's taking a chance doing something. We might see him go out on a limb.
I think it's wrestling. Wrestling is such a risk for him because he's a music entertainer. And a lot of his fans... If he gets hurt,
that's bad news.
Right, if he gets hurt. And it's also his fan base can become resentful of him spending a lot of time in wrestling and in this ring.
And again, thus far he hasn't spent a lot of time, but...
No.
He's on his second run.
Yes. And it's always a gamble.
Rebirth, recover, and restore. I mean, we've got the image of the salamander here that, can shed regrow a tail, regrow a leg.
Shapeshifter.
But he's also, he clearly tries different things, right? Whether he moves from music into wrestling, into acting, maybe he gets a talk show next or whoever knows, but also this recover and restore, he has to be drained. Like, he is doing so much. Again, I'm sure it's not easy being the biggest entertainer in the world.
He literally is. He trains harder than anyone in the world.
Literally. Playfulness, new love, and flirting. Is that just, the playfulness of...
That's him with... I'm just wanting to give you a heads up. He's been spotted with one of the Kardashians.
Oh.
Kendall. Yes. Just a heads up. The model one. That's Kendall.
That ain't the Travis Scott one, or it is?
No.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
Kendall, the other sister. The
My
other
goodness.
Jenner.
Sorry, I can't keep up with the Kardashians.
But that's who I want you to know.
Okay, well, there we go. There's the new love and flirting. Plus, I mean, he gives off a very playful and flirtatious aura. Which, again, is why he's so charismatic and why so many people...
That's why he took to wrestling well. He's got charisma.
Betrayal, deceit, and jealousy. Put that over here with the deception card.
Told you, he is not who he portrays himself to be.
He is probably not who he portrays himself to be. Also, you
A lot
know,
of serpent energy, a lot of reptile energy, shapeshifter energy.
you know, I mentioned next month at Backlash, he is going to be siding against Damian Priest, who was his first partner in the WWE. Of course, he and Damian Priest are both Puerto Rican, while the Mysterios are both Mexican. So he's siding with Rey Mysterio, not Damian Priest. So just on a storyline level, there's also that betrayal there. Fun and games, not serious, playing games. I mean, wrestling is a diversion. We'll put this over here with the playful card. You know, it's not Bad Bunny's bread and butter. It's just something that, you know, he enjoys and is doing as sort of the release. Early stages, innocence and new. We see the spring chicken there.
Could be the new love.
Is this the new relationship, or is he moving into another career stage?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we can actually even put this over here by the rebirth card.
New endeavors. I mean, his hand is in so much stuff.
Right.
It could be anything.
And because he is trying new things, we've got the knowledge card, learning and studying. So yes, he is so hungry for knowledge. He's been great at everything he's done so far. And because he's got this thirst to try new things and to learn new things.
I think that's what I respect about him. Is he's unlike a lot of people you see at that level, he really is just having fun and putting his hand at anything. Like, you want to try this, Bad Bunny? Sure. You want to try this, Bad Bunny? Sure. Like, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
I think it's great, you know, the booking that he's had. You know who should fight at WrestleMania 40?
Oh.
Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul.
Oh yeah.
What a match. Like, they're both absolute megastars.
I agree, but I don't know if Bunny could keep up.
Right.
It would have to be like a tag match.
A tag, right. It's a fair point. Like,
I think Logan would out-wrestle him movement-wise.
And I think both of those guys need someone present to call the match.
Yes, to anchor, yes.
But man, I'd love to see that.
Right, but this moment of where they do get face-to-face,
right.
Sure.
These two hot shots, you know, one very American white bread, one, you know,
Spanish.
one, you know, Spanish-speaking Puerto Rican, and who both dominate their respective fields, who both shocked everyone.
But they both are self-made. They both have built Bunny more than anything, because Bunny is from the slums, like, more than anything. But they're both self-made.
Again, we're not suggesting that is in the cards here. That's just me as a fan doing a little fantasy booking on the fly. Maybe if Tony Khan has enough money, he can put that together for all out 2024. The Hope card, spiritual ascension and peace. Again, we've been talking about all this spirituality. Here we had the butterfly. Here we've got the dove, both with their wings spread. Mm-hmm. It's a time of ascension, and it's absolutely a positive thing to see spiritual ascension and peace. Because some of the imagery that Bunny uses is a little bit dark. So
a little bit. By the way, I like Bad Bunny. I do. But he uses a lot of occultic, cryptic imagery in his stuff. And if you know, you know. Right.
So it's nice to see this rather than this. You know, the dove rather than the snake. But there's that element of duality there. Abundance. Self-employed, business, with the fish. Bad Bunny's a Pisces, by the way. So there's his Pisces energy with that fish. I mean, abundance is an understatement when we're talking about Bad Bunny.
Bro, he don't even pump his own gas.
Well,
like, I'm just saying, dude.
I mean, I lived in Oregon for 7 years and never pumped my own gas.
I know, I grew up in Jersey.
In Jersey, you don't pump your own gas in Jersey either.
I'm just saying, like, dude's got money flowing in abundance.
And yet here it is, what's hidden, the unknown, and shadow self, right? We were talking about some of those other cards, the hidden mouth in two different places. There's still very much an occult energy here, and you see this open closet, right? A white or tan closet, but it's all black on the inside. So again, there's plenty still being obscured.
I allegedly, for entertainment purposes, I have implied that I think Bad Bunny is bisexual. The duality, because you're pulling a lot of duality cards, and the mouth, keep the mouth shut. Like, a lot of imagery is either occult in that, and possibly both. But I've also implied that seeing these cards only makes me feel even more with the look the two faces. Like, oh no, I think he plays both sides.
Again, do you, Bad Bunny? Whatever makes you happy. He cute. I'm sure you can find him a cute boy or a cute girl. That is not my business.
But the fans,
but then we see
like the tea, the content.
Absolutely. We've got this detachment card, mechanical and cold. Again, there's something hidden, right? If you are putting yourself as this figurehead all the time, you've got to hold yourself back. So the person that the crowd sees can't be the real you. You have to stay detached from that to protect your own energy.
And because it isn't really you. Like, that stage him is somebody completely different. Beyonce says the same thing, by the way. When she entertains, she summons Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
She says she'd be surprised at the things she does and says in her own body. Yeah, so that's Bad Bunny.
Again, it's Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Yes.
So we all need a little Tyler Durden to get us over the rough patches. And finally from this deck, special occasions, special time, and celebrations. Well, if you've got abundance like Bunny does and your spiritual awakening, you deserve a celebration. Does this imply that he and Ray are going to be winning this match? I don't know.
I think so.
If you were to ask me beforehand, I would say no, because Ray still hasn't put Dominic over.
And I think that's at SummerSlam. But for now, oh no. I absolutely think they win. Special occasion is Puerto Rico. I think it's going to probably be the main event. Everybody's saying Cody and Brock. It should be the main event. It's his hometown. They haven't been in Puerto Rico in like 18 years or whatever.
Book it, folks. Calypso says it's going to be the main event.
I'm predicting main event.
So when that comes out, she will absolutely remind us if she was correct. And
acknowledge me.
We will have to acknowledge that. Next up, we're going to look at the Egyptian Visions deck. I've really been enjoying this deck.
Oh, you like my deck?
I do, very much.
That I love so much.
Let's see what this one has for us. Give it a shuffle. Again, please do comment about what you think about some of our insights and predictions. Let us know your thoughts about Bad Bunny. Let us know what other topics you'd like to see us tackle. We've got about 24 videos and shorts currently posted. Please do check them out. We've been covering a lot of different topics or a lot of different stars since WrestleMania weekend. We are still a new channel, ironing out some bugs, working on some of the production elements, but what we are focusing right now is really on the content, and that's what we want to make sure that we can provide you some entertaining content that you're not going to find in a lot of places.
Well, how about we like to look real? A lot of people you'll see have fancy cameras and fancy setups.
I want a fancy camera, fancy setup.
No, I like being authentic. I like people to see that we really channel this energy, and it's just, by the way, we just use a regular cell phone and our setup in the house.
That might have been a little bit too much. I'm picking these up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's genuine. It's real from us. It's real. It's genuine. It's raw. And so y'all know that it's not no cosmetic made up stuff.
And when we're not on camera, guess what we're doing? We're watching wrestling and we're drawing tarot about wrestling.
And resting.
Oh, of course, and resting.
You've had a few cards that stuck out.
Alright, we'll go through this maybe 2 more times. We've probably got about half a dozen cards from this deck.
Or pluck from the top.
Alright. Once more through. Oof. Again,
I'm telling you,
that's too many, but we're going to take at least the top one there and shuffle once more. Oh. Don't say nothing.
I'm going to the corner.
Calypso. No, you didn't. Well, you didn't know when he did that video with Drake. I didn't say nothing.
All them cards want to talk because the tea is hot.
Okay.
The tea is hot. There's a whole bunch of cards trying to come out on the body.
So, yet again, the masculine. We'll read into that, what you like. And the coming out card. So, based on what Calypso was just suggesting, I think we can interpret that a certain kind of way, allegedly for entertainment purposes.
But for real, though. Allegedly for entertainment purposes. All jokes, you guys. But this is making your presence known, coming out of a situation, emerging from inactivity.
Mm-hmm.
A man will play a role. Your masculine side, masculine energy.
Yes, so...
A lot of reinforcement.
Right, where'd that card go? There we got the 2 sweaty men's in the battle for domination.
I'm leaving this room. Oh my god.
Ooh. Okay. Cast out. Can't keep accepting a bad situation, forcing something or someone to leave.
Ooh.
The last straw.
He's sick of somebody.
Exactly. And doubting, unsure about something or someone, lack of trust and confidence. The choice is unclear.
Yeah, and that's some personal stuff.
Right? I mean, if we're just talking about his relationship with the WWE...
This ain't it. This is definitely much more personal.
It seems like it is, but also, a lot of people have been having mixed feelings about the announcement of the sale of the company. Bunny was involved with WWE.
Endeavor might not
before
feel the
this.
same. I understand.
So,
I mean, he also could be doubting, like,
But Bunny doesn't want to fight Conor McGregor?
No, I think the cast out could possibly be even Damian Priest. Like, their friendship is now broken and fractured in this, right?
In kayfabe.
In kayfabe.
I mean...
This is what we're talking about. Somewhat.
Not necessarily act like he and Priest may still be cool.
No,
we don't know
about it, but he might even be down. I think he might even be nervous about going home on the big stage. That absolutely could be nervous in the big stage. More cold cards, because that's Anubis is the underworld.
Risky choices. One will heal, the other is toxic. Mm-hmm. So we got a big tag team match coming up.
Again, more duality with him.
Absolute duality, right? You see the green hand and the red hand. This is like Zenyatta, or this is like who's that David Bowie looking character that I like to play in Overwatch with the heal and harm hand, like Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. But who knows? We're talking about one will heal, the other is toxic. Is there going to be a turn in this tag match?
Is Bunny going to turn heel?
In favor of Damian.
Possibly. Judgment Day, the dark side.
Right.
See?
And again, I mean, just the name Damian Priest. Like, one's this devil son name, the other's Priest.
Right.
I don't know.
I keep forgetting that Damian represents duality, too.
Well, I mean, Damian, Damien from The Omen.
I know.
Right?
I know. I'm aware. He used to come out, like, his original intro was the dark wing and the white wing. He went through that phase.
Desiring, yearning for something, someone, fantasizing, wishful thinking, a want, a need. So we've already had the wish show up in a few places. Again, this is a time for wishes being fulfilled, but also controlling one's feelings, restraining oneself, repressed emotions, and that's the containing card. Let's put this over here with the coming out in the masculine, just in case there's any truth to that energy. But yes, there's something about Bunny that he's holding back, repressing. That's why we've got this detached robot. And as we've already said, those occult closed mouths, something's being repressed, something's being held back. Invention, great power of thinking and reasoning, creativity and great ideas, finding the answers. So, a lot of creativity.
He said that he loves art.
He loves art and just doing creative things. Perspective, change the meaning of the issue. Experiences shaping perspective. Reflection for change. So he's nearly 30, right? He's still a very young man. He's coming to a crossroads in his life where his perspectives are changing. He's been this megastar in his youth, and now he's growing up some. I mean, I don't want to talk about him like he's a kid, because clearly he's a grown man. He's made all this money. He's had huge success.
Your 20s, you make so many mistakes.
Your 20s are so different.
They really are.
And through his 30s, he can start figuring things out, and maybe by the time he's 40, he'll have figured something out.
But he's definitely high on life.
High on life, extremely happy, living life to the fullest, excitement and happiness. That one feels pretty obvious.
He says that about wrestling. I tell you all, like, he literally said, the best day of his life, you guys, was when he won at WrestleMania. I thought that was so cute. His first WrestleMania, he said, was the greatest day of his life. Because it, childhood, that innocence.
Which all of this has been bringing a lot of pleasure. Allow yourself to have pleasure.
I really think wrestling's the only time he really gets to release and have fun. More cult, more spiritual energy.
This sacred alchemy, more wings. With this, angel energy with the wings. Magical process of creation, creating a life of magic, union with the divine. So again, we talked about some of those other spiritual cards. He's coming into a time of spiritual awakening. Do we know Bunny's life path number?
I can pull it up. So I'm gonna do the math. Ooh, it is cold in here. I'm supposed to be finished doing this.
All right, we're gonna start shuffling the last deck. I think we've seen a lot of reinforcement, a couple different elements coming through here. This last deck, I always call the golden deck, typically has a lot of money and business and finance type cards in it.
By the way, allegedly, Latin music revenue allegedly exceeds $1 billion. So, like, Latin music is hotter than ever. And Bad Bunny fans are allegedly upset with him. And it's not just because he's dating her. I'm just trying to get an idea of why they're upset with him, right? So, some of that could be playing out in his cards. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, he says, from hysterical calls to start referring to Bad Bunny as Ben. Ooh, rather than the birth name.
Ooh.
Told you, they think he's selling out. He did. Hate to break it to you. Benito entitled to expressions of disappointment. These waves of critique reflect a collective sense of betrayal. Told you. Many are asking what happened to the artists who critiqued the co-opting of Caribbean Latin culture amid reggaeton's recent crossover appeal, and who declared that cultural appropriations can never play the part because I don't know what this says. Les Falta Sazon. I don't know. It says in the song El Pagan. I don't know what this means. It says since Bunny first made the transition from grocery store bagger to rapper, Latinas have been amongst his biggest supporters. Whether through his music, Benito has often used his art to uplift social, cultural, and political issues happening in Puerto Rico, including the plight of women and LGBTQ communities. I told you, he lives both lives. Like,
so people are feeling this betrayal as he is moving away from his roots.
Yep.
And, you know, living...
That's the cold attachment.
Living a more Anglo life. He's running around with, you know, a Jenner, which is a Kardashian for all intents and purposes.
A genre that has historically perpetuated machismo, Malo stood out for uplifting decolonial gender equality. According to Jessica Hernandez, a scholar of gender and ethnic studies who is currently writing a book, it says, for Latina fans, it is about the erotics of the collective sense of belonging. In other words, it's about how the star, in this case Bad Bunny, creates a space for fans to envision and create different futures for themselves and each other. So yeah, they think he's a sellout. Everybody thinks he's changing. First of all, he's not speaking Spanish exclusively anymore. He's now in America more than he is in Puerto Rico. He's and he's dating a damn Jenner.
Right. So yes, that temptation and deception, the lure of, you know, American capitalism, American fame. He's made some risky choices, right?
And because he's he's both ways. This implies it even more. Sorry. The things he speaks and advocates about says it even more. You know why Gaga's such a big advocate? Because she is in the community. He just can't come out and say it as directly.
Because
it affects the wallet.
Of that toxic masculinity.
Yes.
In you know, in the culture.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely sheds some light on a few of these cards. Makes the betrayal and deceit much more apparent. Can we get his birthday real quick while I'm about to start looking at this last
sorry, I'm just trying to give us more clarity, force them to think about the possibilities and limits of popular culture and what happens when the icons we love don't love us back. Ooh.
That's all well and good, but that is literally every famous person ever, and I'm not buying it. Like, I don't know if culturally there's more of a sensitivity to it.
Well, again, that's what I told you. He has been such an advocate. That's what the problem is. When you're so, my culture, I would never betray my culture. I love my people. I love my women. I love this. When you say these things and you change those things, you're going to get ridiculed and critiqued, and rightfully so, because the deception, or where's that card? You deceiving people.
Yes.
People are allowed to call out deception. I'm just saying, let's not act like that the fans don't have a right to be upset with Bunny. Because they do.
It's 27. Okay, Bad Bunny's life path number is a 9. Which, as we've looked through, again, this is a bigger conversation for a different time, but a lot of the 9s that we've looked at among celebrities...
Oh, no, it's not. We're going to get all kind of tarot reading fans for this one, honey. So let me give y'all the tea. Whenever we've seen life path number 9s in wrestling, right? Because that's all I have, right? This is allegedly for entertainment purposes. People under the life path number 9, tend to have addictions. Some sort of addiction. Doesn't matter if it's alcohol,
drugs, sex, work, power, fame.
I'm just trying to watch the words I use on here to stay friendly. So yes, you name it. And it tends to be the partying side, the you know what I mean? So yes, it tends to be addicts.
We promise there will be more content on that topic, because it was one of the first things that we started looking at.
Right.
When we were applying some of the spirituality and numerology
right. Because
to the world of wrestling.
I am definitely into numerology and life path numbers, right? and astrology, right? Because it's important to know when you're doing things like this, the energy you're reading, right? So that's another thing we try to do different than you see on other channels, right? Is to get an astrological and a numerology perspective on some of the people that we're, you know what I mean, reading into, because it makes reading their energy a lot easier, which now a lot of things that we saw makes a lot more sense, right? It's not just wrestling. It really is the backlash of his fan base.
Absolutely. So yeah, I appreciate you finding that info and adding that context. We're going to finish this up. We've got the roll the dice card. Time to put yourself out there. You're hiding your talents. Again, we've seen the learning and the new endeavors. I don't know if this is specifically related to, taking the risk on wrestling, but again, rolling the dice, risky choices, or if he's got some other new endeavor up his sleeve. I don't know why, I said 10 minutes ago, maybe he's going to have a talk show or something. I don't see why not. Wisdom. You are called to serve as a mentor, as a role model, and guide who can show the way. Use your wisdom and experience. Well, he's not the experienced guy in the wrestling ring.
No, but he's like
but he can absolutely mentor people in other ways. Innovation. This is like that creativity. Come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. Again, Bunny is an extremely modern celebrity. And the way he has interacted, with his fan base.
Do different things.
But if he's in hot water, he's going to need to figure something out quick. Honest work. It's okay to have a job that's not very glamorous. Well, get some experience to help you move up in the future. Success is a process, not a quick fix. Again, I think that means he's going to have to do some work to repair his image. Harmony. It's important for you to have a quiet, peaceful work atmosphere. Working at home or for yourself is best. So, he needs some sort of a retreat from all this chaos. And he is going home, right? He's going to Puerto Rico for
he needs a detox.
For this for the Backlash pay-per-view. He needs to do some grounding while he's there, get in touch with his roots a little bit more, and
detox.
And detox, allegedly for entertainment purposes.
No, detoxing could mean anything, right? It could be energetic detoxing that he needs to do. That's all I'm saying.
Movement. You'll make good progress now. You'll be able to overcome any obstacles in your path. Big leaps forward are possible. So if he can get his energy right and do the work to repair the image with his, most important fan base.
And stop wearing the mask, Bunny. Like, I think the mask is part of the issue.
Right. You need to have some more, this is more flexibility with your schedule and income. Time off will help you get clear. So again, he needs to take some time to find that harmony. You see, doing the yoga, finding that balance. This feather, is that the feather that gets weighed against your heart? Where he needs
right, because you pulled Anubis.
He needs to be, take a personal self-assessment. I'm not going to be so harsh as to say, your judgment at the end of life, but really think about, are you light or heavy as a person? We've seen a fair bit of heavy energy through here. And finally, flashback. People from the past return, work with a previous coworker, take back an old job. You get a second chance. I wonder
maybe
again,
that's the fans.
Maybe it's the fans, but work with the previous coworker. Maybe this is what we were talking about. Him turn on Ray and work with Priest again.
Possibly.
Could be. There's a lot of interpretation to be had here. I think
Bunny's, to me, one of the hardest because he isn't just a wrestler.
Yes, he's got a very complex life. And, on the one hand, we're trying to read fiction, right? We're trying to use divination to look into a made-up story, right? Whatever the storyline is, the kayfabe, of this upcoming match is one thing,
but I still think
but there's a real man here
I understand.
who has his own his own emotions, his own weights, his own joys.
But I think the second deck kind of told more about the business, and then I think we got a nice window peek into the person and his energy. But yeah, I think he needs a detox. I literally said at the beginning of this, he needs to take the mask off. He needs to get back to his roots and figure out what's important to him. I always say this, when we let the machine run us and start dictating us.
There's the machine, the robot.
Right. When the machine is running you, you have to be careful of that. Because the machine will have you detach and turning your fan base off, which is literally happening to him. He's given up too much of himself. And the backlash is real.
He needs to backlash. He needs to restore that harmony. He needs to go home. He needs to do some rooting.
He needs some spiritual work.
He needs some. I mean, and we saw that, right? We saw this. Here it is.
Go call that bruja auntie.
Spiritual balance and peace, right? He needs this peace, this harmony. Take the muzzle off the mouth to be able to speak your truth, live your truth, instead of being masked and stifled in that way. There's a lot going on here, and it's not just in the WWE ring. That's just a small part of it. This has been very interesting. I wasn't really expecting to take a deep look at Bad Bunny, but with the storyline and the match coming up,
I'll give credit. He's super creative, and I think he's smarter than he gets credit for, and I think he's very talented. Like, there's a lot of talent, a lot of wisdom. Whenever you're told that you can be a teacher, that means you have a lot of wisdom. It means you are very helpful. Like, you can be extremely helpful and informative and create. Like, he has so many creative cards also.
Yes.
And he has fortune, and it's like, the kid's all right. Like, he can retire now and he'll be all right.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm sure his bank account is lovely. But I also think he's also on I'd say this all the time, the precipice of, like, yeah, you better be careful. Your fan base is mad. I mean mad. And you're talking about a cultural fan base. We're not talking about a white fan base. No disrespect. Yes. This isn't to be racist. But cultural backlash is real. And you might not recover from that. Because you betray your culture, talking about, like, Hispanic culture that hasn't had a platform the way he has. And you might not recover from that. It's real. Because to them, he speaks for millions.
Yes. And the Kardashian Jenners will only have use for you as long as you're useful.
Exactly.
If I'm sorry, did you say it was Kendall?
Yes.
Yeah, like
she ain't worth it.
Maybe she wants a baby, but that's it.
Right. But I'm just saying this.
Allegedly for entertainment purposes.
Whatever the relationship is for, I hope it's just for in the bedroom and keep it moving. Like, because what you're seeing in these cards, what's at stake, a lot of that dice, risky. He out here risking what it's implying is he's risking his bags becoming more American.
Dangerous.
That's dangerous.
I mean, the world does not like America all that much. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You trying to become more American in this current climate?
My goodness.
That's like the worst thing you can do.
Can we switch American. Places? I'll go be Puerto Rican. Shoot.
Right. I'm just saying, like, genuinely speaking, like, right now America is, like, looked at terribly. Like, we are not looked at in a good light. Like, it's we ain't the come up we used to be.
Right. Bunny, protect your culture.
Yes, and your heritage.
Go home, find your harmony.
And your creativity.
And speak Spanish.
Yes, and protect your brand.
Protect your mother tongue. It's what you were born with. Don't lose it.
So that's all allegedly for entertainment purposes, you guys. Please don't forget to cut on that notification bell, too.
Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video if you liked it. Thanks very much for watching through the video. Be sure to check out our other videos and shorts. We've been taking on a whole lot of different topics.
Not prepared for Bad Bunny
lately.
Like
I tell you, I've been bamboozled by the last couple of these that I did.
Seriously.
But thanks very much for watching again. I am Jude with my partner Calypso Vibes. We are Wrestling Tea Tarot. Thanks so much for being here, and come see us next time.
Bye.